COMM 222. Organizational Behavior. Chapter 9, Leadership. Prepared by NASA Tahiri. Leadership occurs when an individual exerts influence on others' goal achievement in an organizational context. Strategic leadership refers to a leader's ability to anticipate, envision, maintain flexibility, think strategically, and work with others to initiate changes that will create a viable future for the organization. Individuals with titles such as manager, executive, supervisor, and department head occupy formal or assigned leadership roles. As part of these roles, they are expected to influence others, and they are given specific authority to direct employees. Individuals may also emerge to occupy informal leadership roles. Since informal leaders do not have formal authority, they must rely on being well-liked or being perceived as highly skilled to exert influence. The trait theory of leadership was concerned with identifying physical, psychological, and intellectual traits that might predict leader effectiveness. While some traits appear to be related to leadership capacity, there are no traits that guarantee leadership across various situations. However, of the big 5 dimensions of personality, extroversion and conscientiousness have been found to be the most consistent predictors of leadership effectiveness. Studies of the behavior of leaders have concentrated on initiating structure and consideration as well as leader reward and punishment behaviors. Both consideration and initiating structure contribute positively to employees' motivation, job satisfaction, and leader effectiveness. Consideration tends to be more strongly related to follower satisfaction, motivation, and leader effectiveness, while initiating structure is slightly more strongly related to leader job performance and group performance. Leader contingent reward and punishment behavior is positively related to employees' perceptions, attitudes, and behavior. Fiedler's contingency theory is a situational theory of leadership that suggests that different leadership orientations are necessary depending on the favorableness of the situation for the leader. Favorableness depends on the structure of the task, the position power of the leader, and the relationship between the leader and the group. Fiedler argues that task-oriented leaders perform best in situations that are either very favorable or very unfavorable. Relationship-oriented leaders are said to perform best in situations of medium favorability. House's path goal theory is a situational theory of leadership that suggests that leaders will be most effective when they are able to clarify the paths to various subordinate goals that are also of interest to the organization. According to House, the effectiveness of directive, supportive, participative, and achievement-oriented behavior depends on the nature of the subordinates and the characteristics of the work environment. Participative leadership involves employees in making work-related decisions. Participation can increase employee motivation and lead to higher quality and more acceptable decisions. The Vroom and Jago model specifies how much participation is best for various kinds of decisions. Participation works best when employees are desirous of participation, when they are intelligent and knowledgeable, and when the task is reasonably complex. Leader-member exchange, LMX, theory is concerned with the quality of the relationship that develops between a leader and an employee. High-quality relationships, or high LMX, involve a high degree of mutual influence and obligation as well as trust, loyalty, and respect between a leader and an employee. Higher quality LMX relationships result in positive outcomes for leaders, employees, work units, and organizations. Transactional leadership is leadership that is based on a straightforward exchange relationship between the leader and followers and involves contingent reward behavior and management by exception. Transformational leadership refers to leaders that provide followers with a new vision that instills true commitment. They provide intellectual stimulation, individualized consideration, and inspirational motivation. They also have charisma, the ability to command extraordinary loyalty, dedication, and effort from followers. Empowering leadership involves implementing conditions that enable the sharing of power with employees. Ethical leadership involves the demonstration of normatively appropriate conduct through personal actions and interpersonal relationships and the promotion of such conduct to followers through two-way communication, reinforcement, and decision-making. Authentic leadership is a positive form of leadership that involves being true to oneself. Authentic leaders know and act upon their true values, beliefs, and strengths, and they help others do the same. Servant leadership is a form of leadership that involves going beyond one's own self-interests and having a genuine concern to serve others. There are some differences in leadership style between men and women in organizational settings. Female leaders tend to be more transformational than male leaders, and they also engage in more contingent reward behaviors. Male leaders engage in more management by exception and laissez-faire leadership. In terms of effectiveness, there are no differences between men and women leaders except in a few certain situations. However, women remain underrepresented in senior leadership positions as a result of many barriers and obstacles that have been described as a labyrinth of leadership. The Globe Project found that there are many leadership attributes that are universally desirable or universally undesirable in all cultures, as well as some attributes that are culturally contingent, that is, they will be effective in some cultures but ineffective or dysfunctional in others. Global leadership involves having a set of leadership capabilities required to function effectively in different cultures and the ability to cross language, social, economic, and political borders. Global leaders are characterized by their inquisitiveness, personal character, global business and organizational savvy, and their ability to manage the dualities of global integration and local demands.